Oh, hell yeah.
What?
Getting in that cardio.
What?
Getting in that reps.
What?
Clanging and banging in the gym.
What?
Getting that cardiovascular back to you. Stone Cold Steve Austin is getting back in ring shape for WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas. How much shape is he going to be in to kick Kevin Owens into a different shape? We'll talk about that. Joey Janela is the new name to defect from All Elite Wrestling before his contract is up. The bad boy of formerly AEW lays out why he is choosing not to stay with the company, or maybe why the company is not choosing to stay with him. This is the new class of WWE recruits announced for the Performance Center, including a former Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Plus, we have updates about the upcoming AEW video game. What does it entail? Booker T wants to see Razor Ramon get a big memorial at WrestleMania. We'll jump into all that on today's top story of the day.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Watch out.
Watch out. Watch out.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. There we go. What's up, everybody? I'm Kev Kellam. Jose G with me. Jeremy Bennett as well. We'll see if we get some buzzkills from Jeremy. There we go. He's rocking his Boston.
No buzzkill
Celtics.
there. They beat the Warriors last night.
There you go. All right, we'll get into all of it. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're nearing 27,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Very close.
Thank you to the podcast side of things, too, as well, to the people joining us all over the world, putting us on the wrestling charts in multiple countries. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to our podcast channel as well on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Let's jump right into it. Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the big names coming back for WrestleMania. He's had a lot to say here. He had some comments today for Rich Eisen on his nationally syndicated radio show. We also understand Stone Cold getting back in ring shape at 57 for this confrontation, for this fight scene, not a match, because he's going to be on the KO show with Kevin Owens at the Saturday night of WrestleMania. What do we know?
On the Rich Eisen Show, he said, I'll tell you, but you know what? The opportunity comes up. Kevin Owens starts running me down, gets my attention. It was a thing where I kind of said, I'll never get in the ring again. And in this business, they say never say never. I would never get back in, but I was prompted by the right person at the right time. Hell, I actually wish he pissed me off a little sooner than he did. Gave me a little bit more time to prep. What is he prepping for? He's doing a lot of cardio. This sounds a lot like this is not going to be your typical KO show. It may lead to a match at WrestleMania, don't you think?
It certainly sounds that way, doesn't it? And it just kind of like all the signs are there. Like they're not announcing it as a match, but I think we'll end up getting some sort of a match at WrestleMania. I mean, he wouldn't be doing all this press to just show up there and not do anything significant, you know? So I almost got that inclination.
Yeah, all signs point to this being more than just he's promising he's going to get physical. And Kevin Owens was on the bump yesterday saying this isn't that Stone Cold's taking a stunner. Like Kevin Owens is saying it. So you know it. You're not stupid. Especially if you're watching WrestleMania, you're a hardcore fan, right? Mm-hmm. Or even if you're a casual fan, you want to see Stone Cold go out there and beat someone's ass.
Yeah, I wonder if it starts with the KO show and then actually leads to a referee coming down for an official match.
Is it something you do on night one that leads to a match on night two?
Yeah.
Like, you have 2 nights of WrestleMania. Do you want to get crazy and have people think like, oh, wow, I didn't watch the first night of WrestleMania? They're doing what? Because look at the big plays they've done with this. Yes, they set it up on TV. Like, you know what I mean? But all of the sinking shots have been done. All right, Kevin Owens going to cut a promo. He's going to call out Steve Austin on TV. The next day, Stone Cold is going to do a viral video that's going to have millions of people seeing it, that really gets people talking, that gets casual people that are out of the week-to-week WWE. Maybe they watch it now and then. Maybe they're just tuning in this time of year for WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble, right? The cyclical WrestleMania season fan, right? This is something for them. Now you're playing on the casuals that know Stone Cold Steve Austin, haven't seen him in a long time. You get me talking about that on a Saturday night. You drop it and say like, all right, you got in the ring. Well, guess what? Tomorrow night, I'm going to have my boots and my tights ready. I'm going to kick your ass and you and I are going to have a match.
Yeah, that'll be a huge moment.
That's the perfect way to do it. Instantly generates buzz overnight.
And then the next day, you got all these people that are tuning into Peacock that didn't watch the first night, that heard about it.
Sales double, subscriptions double because of the just Stone Cold Steve Austin being featured in a match with Kevin Owens.
Or they do it at Backlash, or they do it like the next month, or they save it for a big Saudi show or something.
No, if you're gonna do something like that, you need to capitalize on that momentum right there and then. So
I agree.
I think that's an excellent idea if they'd use the KO show to set up something for night 2. We'll just have to wait and see, but I think that's a really great idea, Kevin.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be a fun way. And also, I don't think we've seen, since WrestleMania has recently evolved into this thing that's too big for one night, right? Since it's become like a festival weekend of wrestling, which has been for years, right? WWE's just following that. That they've never done the 2-night angle, where they've never done something that bridges from one night to the next night. I think you can do that. This is a big enough angle where you can do that. We have more news to jump into here. Joey Janela. Joey Janela did a very talked about interview with our compatriot, the very talented Denise Salcedo. And speaking to Denise, he was very, very candid. A long interview, 54 minutes, but you can see the 19-minute chunk that everyone's talking about. And that is his very open and transparent exit from All Elite Wrestling. Says he's under a deal until May, and he's done interviews the past few months saying that he indeed intends to stay with All Elite Wrestling, but also noted he had not been offered a new deal. He had not been offered an extension. In this same conversation, he lays out how they're basically being radio silent with him. And he hasn't done a whole lot, and he hasn't heard anything from the company, even though he was one of the first dozen names they signed when they launched this company 3 years ago. Jeremy, what is the latest? Joey Janela laid a lot here.
Yeah, I mean, when you start out AEW, you figured Janela was going to be a very prominent figure, maybe even in the main event scene. You just felt like he was going to be a guy that was going to be pushed. He had a lot of momentum coming out of GCW and a lot of the indie shows that you see. So he had a lot of buzz on him when he came into AEW, but it just never materialized. And Joey going on to saying, well, I'm going to be my own boss. Nobody's going to tell me nothing. Because I know I'm right. I know I am one of the best wrestlers in the world, and I need to be me 100%. I can't have anyone tell me what to do. It is interesting to say that basically there has been absolutely no communication between AEW and him since the end of the contract.
What do you think here, Jose? Is this a sign of the way that AEW treats people in terms of the exit? Because we understand that is way different than what WWE is doing.
I don't think necessarily this is what the standard practices is for AEW. This could be an outlier from Joey Janela, but it's kind of disappointing, right? Because Joey Janela showed a lot of promise in the beginning of AEW. He was featured on quite a few matches on Dynamite and on AEW Dark. Then he got paired up with Sonny, and I don't know. We just kind of saw a downhill trajectory for him since then. So I don't know what happened here. I don't know why the communication stopped. I can't be the one to tell you this is a standard practice from AEW because we haven't heard anything like that from any of the other
we
wrestlers.
did hear that with Chavo.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really a wrestler, though. He was more of a guy they brought in a couple of times. So
true, but he was under a deal. You know what I mean? Like, so like he had a contract. This is somebody who had a contract, and then I guess their approach is different. It appears to be different. I don't. This is some confirmation of it from somebody, but it isn't super clear. Are they treating everybody like this? We don't know.
But at the same time, they're letting deals run out and not just outright firing them.
So they're not releasing people. They're not cutting people from a deal. They're letting a deal run out. But the thing is, everything I hear from people I know that have done stuff in AEW is they don't want the word release associated with them. They don't want it. They don't want that stink on them.
So we're just going to ghost you. That's exactly what. So you go to AEW, your contract expires, and you get no. It's not better.
No, I just don't think it is.
If you're a Joey Janela, if you're an independent wrestler, you got to watch out to put food on your table. And if you have any uncertainty where that money's coming from, I mean that's also not a good strategy either. I mean, releases are releases. It happens to every single company in the world, wrestling or not.
There's no comfortable way to let someone go from a job.
Exactly, but it's business. Business is business. If you're not going to keep me, let me go. Don't just leave me hanging here thinking, oh, I'm still got to,
But at the same time, Joey knew when his contract ran out, and he is the one that made the decision as well.
Sure.
So it's not like he came. It's not like this blindsided him. He knew. So
he knew, and he kind of lays out some reasons why he thinks there's some things he did that may have lost himself in favor.
Yeah.
Specifically, a super kick he did to Eddie Kingston in a match that may or may not have injured Eddie. He thought maybe that could have been something that set him back. He said at some point there were fans that lost faith in him while he was there, or said he wasn't in great shape or he wasn't this. He still had banger matches. He also, in the same interview, said there was things he did in AEW that I'll always cherish, I'll always appreciate, and he kind of treated it like developmental for the rest of his career.
Yeah, he had a great match with Moxley in there, and of course, all this comes from
main event with Omega as well. Did a bunch of
this
different.
This all comes from a good interview here with our friend Denise Salcedo. So go check that out on her Instinct Culture channel.
Definitely go watch it. You get a real scope that this guy is sure of what he's doing. And obviously he's going to stay very active. He's one of the top players with GCW, one of the biggest independents in the world. WWE saying they're doing something as well with 14 new names announced to their recruiting class. Normally around the first quarter of the year is when they announce these, and they have a hell of a class here. Note, a very young one. A very, very young class here. But still, remember when everyone said that WWE wasn't going to recruit independent wrestling talent anymore? They weren't going for independent wrestling talent anymore.
They sure did this time around.
They sure did this time. That certainly doesn't seem like the case. They've scooped up a handful of big standout names in the independent world with this new class.
Yes.
The biggest being the very young 20-something Roxy. She was the first inaugural Ring of Honor Women's Champion. She's no longer that champion anymore. She's a part of this class. We've known her name for quite some time. Some of these other names, though, are D1 athletes, rugby athletes, a handful of different East Coast independent names here, but all of them very, very young. I don't think any of these talents are older than 27.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe that Roxy has been the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, and she's only 20. She just turned 25 months ago. So it's pretty crazy to see. And of course, you got Santina Morella's daughter, Bianca Sorelli, in there, who's gained a lot of hype as well.
Yeah, so, and I think this is actually a pretty impressive group of men and women in this particular class. Not only because of some of the independent wrestlers on there, but some of the less known independent wrestlers. One there, Jake Tucker. Watch out for that name. Mitchell Lavalli, the mother lover, Jake Tucker. That's his wrestling name here in Orlando. This guy is a tremendous talent. He is almost like a Dolph Ziggler-like type talent. Where
can you point him out in that picture to me?
He is the guy on the back to the right. Jake Tucker. Let's see, third over to your screen left.
Okay, yeah, I can see what you're saying.
He's in the middle. He's in the middle. He's the blonde guy with the crop buzz cut over there in the back row there. But yeah, he is tremendous talent. I've had a really great opportunity to interview him. But just like you said, Roxy and Corelli, I mean, those are women that are having a lot of eyes on them. But this is a really good class right here, man.
I think we saw Kayla Inlay on a recent edition of NXT. I think
there's
Henley.
Yeah, they've been doing enhancement work on NXT shows for quite some time. But I mean, there's a lot of these people have wrestling backgrounds. You know, like a lot of these people have pro wrestling backgrounds. And then a couple of them, I know everyone gets mad, like, how come they just don't recruit wrestlers? How come they just don't recruit wrestlers? But they got some D1 athletes. This Gabe Y guy they're getting from Florida, he's 6'4", he's 260 pounds. He was already in the Army. He played rugby, so he's able to take the hits. You got a 23-year-old guy who comes in with 16 years of training as a power lifter, and David Bostian. You have some like stud athletes that you can carve something out of. Now, that doesn't mean they're all going to pan out. That's just the way things go, right? But you have people that came from Booker T school. You have people that are, a second-generation person. This is a pretty strong class here they have.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in from like, yeah.
And for a fact, just to kind of point out again on Jake Tucker, he actually trains at the dungeon with Natalia and TJ Wilson and all those guys over there. So this guy is very well rounded. He's done a lot of backstage segments with WWE, either as a security guard or as a police officer. You've probably seen them in NXT in the backstage. So these guys, again, this is a very well rounded class. I am actually very excited for this class coming up.
But you also want some people that have some room to grow, so you can grow within that system. I think that's another thing with people. They're like, oh, they're so talented elsewhere. How come they didn't make it in WWE? Because you have to work within that system. You have to play to that system. That's the team you're on. Play the plays that your team is playing. So there's that here. So we have the WWE 2K22 game. It is out now. This is the follow-up from the disastrous 2K20 game. Most of the reviews are pretty positive. Seems like an improvement. But another game that people are anticipating in Wrestledom is the AEW video game. A lot of money has been put into this by AEW itself. Kenny Omega has been appointed as a person to develop this. They have their own social media team and video channels of content. They've released some mobile games. This technically isn't their first game because the mobile games are their first. They have a GM game. They have a lotto game. Like a casino style game here. But the console game is the one that people are looking forward to here. What is the latest on this, Jeremy? You have the expertise in this world.
Fightful Select putting out earlier today. Not much information, but a little bit. There will be a story mode that has been made official, so it's going to probably be a rival to the showcase modes that are in WWE 2K. And of course, we all knew that Ukes was involved, and some of the original developers of the SmackDown versus Raw series are going to be involved as well. And anybody, there are also other people that are involved with Ukes that used to do the WWE games back in the day before 2K took over. The only other thing that was really noteworthy from this was the fact that Thunder Rosa has already got her prototype in. And of course, the tremendous music producer, Mikey Ruckus, is going to have a lot to do with this game as well. Of course, he's had his hand in a lot of great themes that you hear in wrestling today on AEW, especially the one that's generated the most buzz with Adam Cole, baby. But not much out on this report, but just a little bit more detail. But of course, obviously, you don't want a WWE 2K20 situation. You want to make sure you get it right, especially the first time.
Especially the first time. I think in terms of a product related to wrestling, besides the launch of your TV show that AEW had, has there never been a more critical anticipation of something? Where
especially with Ukes involved.
Ukes involved because the games they did, the money they've put into this, they put reportedly millions of dollars into developing this themselves.
A lot of opinions have stated that ever since Ukes left that WWE franchise, that the 2K it's just gone downhill ever since. And of course, crashed in 20, but it's gone downhill consistently ever since Ukes had left. Obviously, the first 2K had a lot of Ukes stuff in it before they went and did their own thing. But
have you touched the new 2K22 game yet at all?
No,
Jeremy?
not yet. Not yet. I haven't had time with a lot of new releases that have come out and just not much time, period.
I've heard good things about it. The reviews I've watched on YouTube are good.
Yeah. Overall, much better than last year, clearly, but that was a low bar.
Sure.
They but yeah, overall pretty good. Probably if I get some free time or the first sale drops, I will pick it up.
What do you think about this AEW game? What can they do to make it different? Like, what can they do to make this game because
they don't necessarily
there's
need
so
to
many
make
things
it
with
different.
wrestling games and combat games in general now, where you kind of have to do something that happened before.
They don't have to necessarily make it different. If they can replicate the success that they had when Ukes did the SmackDown versus Raw franchise, that is already going to be a win from them, because that's going to be a style of game that a lot of people can get into easily, and a lot of people that played the games prior are going to remember fondly. So if they can replicate that style of gameplay, that's already going to bring in an old audience and a new audience right then and there.
Fans chiming in here. David Chaperon saying if the AEW game comes out and plays like the old school SmackDown versus Raw, it would be amazing. I enjoyed those games as well. Those PS2, PS3 days.
Yep.
DJ Eric saying WWE 2K22 is not bad. The controls could be a whole lot better. The glitches are not that bad.
No.
He continues to say, give AEW the video game more cowbell, and he'll sell billions of copies. Throw cowbell in there.
More cowbell.
I got a fever, and the only prescription
is more
cowbell. All right. Do you think this is a big question? Do I think there's going to be an IPO?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's a long ways away. Look how long it took. Look how long it took WWE to get an IPO.
Yeah, and that really changed their business, didn't it?
But then again, AEW is light years ahead of where WWE is when they started. So
the whole business is, though. The whole business.
It is. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 5 years we see an IPO.
or
in the
some
next 5
outside
years.
investor.
I think so. I think it's just a matter of time because people are catching on to it. People are watching it. You got associations with the NBA. You got associations with the NHL. You got TNT, Warner Media. It's only a matter of time.
And it's also like the same way that people talk about WWE being bought by a major media company so that they can become like a fully controlled streaming property. Same idea with AEW. Same idea. You know, like if a network could buy a major sports league and completely control the TV rights of it, they would, you know, but they can probably buy a wrestling league before then. You know what I mean? So it's kind of out there. Let's get another story here. Booker T. Booker T has gone on the record of saying that he would like a memorial ladder match dedicated to Scott Hall. And is he watching our show? Maybe he's not watching our show.
I think he's watching our show.
He might be.
I don't think we're the only people that brought this up, though, too.
No, it was a pretty obvious.
We'll take the credit, though. We'll take the credit.
Oh, of course, we will.
I don't think we're the only people bringing this up. Sadly, we lose Scott Hall earlier this week. The entire wrestling world, WWE, beyond, all paying tribute to the bad guy. And Booker T had some history with him. They were running hard in WCW as well, and they had some big matches there. And went on the record saying there should be this memorial ladder match for Razor Ramon. You got a lot of talent there who are not yet booked on WrestleMania. I know fantasy booking shouldn't be news, but you got big name Hall of Famers saying, can you make this match?
We got no clear-cut direction for the Intercontinental title right now, so it's almost perfect because obviously you had Ricochet defending Sammy and invoking a rematch clause last week. So you clearly have room to say, hey, yo, let's put this match into the WrestleMania card.
I think that'll be perfect if you have the Intercontinental title in a ladder match at WrestleMania. It always means something when that IC title is in a ladder match.
Let's add one more thing to it.
What's that?
Put the old IC belt up there too, so you have two belts, so then the winner gets to pose just like Razor Ramon did when he defeated Shawn Michaels.
Or, want to get crazy? Throw the U.S. title in there too.
You want to get nuts?
Throw the U.S. title in there.
Let's get nuts.
You know? Get crazy, dude.
Let's get nuts.
I think this could be a great addition to that Sunday night show. I think that the Saturday night lineup for WrestleMania this year is a little bit stronger than the Sunday one. I'd be into it. It'd be a really cool idea. Why not?
I mean,
come on now, Ricky. Do we have to keep doing this for the diehards who watch all the time? Lay this out for the people who just doing it again.
Give me some fives in the chat. Fives in the chat for a scissor kick to Kev Kellam at WrestleMania.
No, I don't want WWE Hall of Famer Booker T to give me a scissors kick to the back of my big giant head.
Fives in the chat for Booker T.
There's one thing that we'll know for certain if that happens, that he won't miss because of how big your head is.
Ooh.
He'll kick me so hard my whole beard will fall off.
Ooh.
It'll match your mustache.
It's coming back a little bit. It's coming back pretty quick. There you go. But yeah, this is quite the ride here. A few weeks away, WrestleMania, Dallas, Texas. Are you going? We're going. Jose and I are going to be there. We're going to be filming stuff with fans.
Yeah.
So if you are going, please reach out to us on Twitter at Kev Kellam, at Jose_G_official. Reach out to Jose on Instagram. Reach out to me on Twitter.
Instagram. Instagram.
We want to film stuff with fans. It's really fun, interactive content that we'll be using in the future. Oh, bunch of fives in the chat. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
And so in the chat. This is ridiculous. And so we're going to do this. It's going to be really cool. We'll tell you what the ideas are because these are just fun, ridiculous things. Also, we have Mania Minutes that are just dropping now. 22,000 of you watched our newest one that just dropped.
24 now. It's
24,000. These are Mania Minutes, a minute of trivia. How much do you know in a minute about a WrestleMania? All right. It only takes a minute to watch it. That's a couple of TikToks, couple Snapchats.
It's
all right.
Fun.
So give it a look. We got those up as well. People saying I won't sell this scissor kick. I'll sell it. I'm still a professional. And so
he's going to sell it because it's going to actually hurt like a bitch.
Look at you, buzzkilling. Buzzkill Bennett came in quick.
I'm afraid I got some buzzkill.
He hits you with the what if he hits you with the scissor kicks and then he follows up with the bookend?
Then he's gonna.
Will you be able to take the bookend?
Then he'll spin a Rooney right on the giant head of Kev.
On my head,
there's room.
And then his knee will land right on his head, and he'll just be in that perfect pose right on Kevin's head.
Teabagging him.
Look how big the back of my head is. This is an easy target.
He'll be doing that pose while he's teabagging Kevin.
Oh, come on now. Now you're just getting graphic.
Like
was unnecessary.
It's like a Call of Duty kill. He's gonna be teabagging Kevin.
We will be at WrestleMania. We will have live post-game coverage.
Where you can teabag Kevin in person.
Stop it. No.
By the way, I absolutely love this design that Eric Calavera did for the tramp stamp prototype that he did on Twitter for Buzzkill Bennett, which, by the way, you didn't drop any buzzkills today.
We got one in at the end of the show. He wanted me to get kicked in the back.
What are you here? Have you been listening? I literally just did.
You didn't. I'm afraid I have some buzzkill.
I pitched that idea for Stone Cold Steve Austin. I was just waiting for Jeremy to come and be like, "No, they shouldn't do it." I was just waiting.
No, because I thought that was a great idea. Let's see if we can get this. Let's see. Geez, let me see if I can get this up real quick here.
We can share. This.
I am not.
While you do that, here,
throw in Roland while I try to get this in.
We got Roland Curtis watching us on YouTube with the super chat. Thank you for the support, Roland. We love you. He's saying the bad RIP to the bad guy. Surely top 7 not win in a world. Win in a world.
Never won a world title, right? He didn't even win one in WCW. He had world title shots, but he never had won one, right?
Yeah. Not at all.
Go ahead and throw that up, Jeremy.
Here, you edit it. There you go.
There you go. So this is from Eric, who is with us all the time. Thank you so much, Eric. This is really cool. And this is pretty ridiculous. A buzzkill once more, and he did very solid work. We got to close up that mustache.
Not wearing
you got a little bit of my mustache.
I'll be shaving this.
Okay. Just to match the photo.
I normally do that. When I get tired of the mustache, I just shave it. So.
That's pretty spot on, though.
I like that he added glasses.
Tonight I'm in between bars, so I'm wearing contacts tonight. I'm in between.
I'm in between bars. What is
I'm in between bars. Yeah.
Sláinte to all you guys out there. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hit the next page there, Jeremy, so people can see the back of the. Because that's the front of the shirt.
We got to show them the front of the shirt.
Boom! The tramp stamp at the bottom.
Oh, do we really want to show the other thing?
What was the other thing? I don't know what the other thing is. Show me the other thing.
Oh no!
Now that is not me because I do not have a hairy back.
Watch out!
Oh, okay, all right.
Watch out!
Eric photoshopped the watch out, which I said needs to be on the back of a t-shirt on the lower back because you got to sell that ass, right? We got to watch that ass. And so we always yell watch out at the beginning of the show. I said, we got to do 3 watch outs lower back. And I asked Jeremy, could you get a lower back tramp stamp tattoo? Because sex sells. And Jeremy was just not a fan of it. And he buzzkilled it. So now we've turned buzzkill.
I have no tattoos on my body. And I'd be damn, you're going to have to give me at least 8 figures to get a tramp
8 figures.
10 million plus if I'll get a tramp.
10 million plus.
You give me 10 million, I will get that.
Will that include the tramp stamp twerk dance?
Yes, if I get 10 million. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's start a GoFundMe account. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We don't need to build a new studio. We need 10 million to get a tramp stamp.
We need 10 million so Jeremy can get a tramp stamp and he can do the twerk dance of the watch out dance.
Some people want that shirt. Maybe we'll figure out merch. Hopefully in the next couple months we'll figure that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're with us all the time, you spend time with us every single day, 5 days a week. We appreciate it. There's a lot of other options you have to watch stuff. So watching us, we really appreciate it, especially this time of year with so much going on the weeks ahead of WrestleMania. Give us a follow on all the social medias. Follow SK Wrestling _. Some very, very cool stuff coming up before WrestleMania. And download the Sportskeeda app. It's available on all your different mobile devices. All right, we'll be back tomorrow for a Freestyle Friday, taking more of your questions on screen. And before we get there, we just need you to do this one important thing. Calm down. Don't get in a fight on Twitter. All right? Don't calm down. Just take a deep breath and do what? What do you got to do?
You got to enjoy it. Enjoy wrestling.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Let me talk. What?
There you go. Got to talk to them.
Watch out!